jersey of a team with a winning record looks like right here, my friend. See that? You jot some notes down? What is going on, everyone? Happy Friday, happy Forest Day, and welcome back to Sin City Crypto Live. I am one of your co-hosts, David. We're coming at you from our studio here in It's Finally Cool Enough, Las Vegas, Nevada, with our daily, only on the weekdays, but sometimes randomly live stream on the weekends live shows. Before we get into the content, quick disclaimer, nothing that anyone says on this channel should be taken as financial advice, so please, as always, do your own research. Speaking of content today, of course, Friday, Forest Day, we got the technician, the man, in my opinion, the best technical analysis in the game, joining us today in about 10 minutes to go over some charts, talk about some Ripple. Speaking of Ripple, huge win for Ripple against the SEC case. The judge just essentially backhanded Ripple. Gary Gensler, nice backhand to the face. We'll talk about that. Also, help coming for the Bitcoin Lightning Network. MicroStrategy is looking to help develop the Lightning Network. What does that mean? Where's it going to go? We'll talk about all that and much, much more. But before we can talk about all that and much, much more, I have to introduce you to your other co-host, Big Rob. What's up?
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we are an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take the old, the boring, the stale information and we package it up in a fun and sexy way. Also, here at Sin City Crypto, we don't just do live streams. We also do widely popular crypto street interviews. We do game reviews. We do YouTube shorts. And we no longer wear shorts because, as David said, it is now chilly in Las Vegas.
I still wear shorts.
Yeah, it's because all you own is basketball shorts.
So what? I want to be comfortable.
And when he decides to wear pants, he just gets the extra long basketball shorts, you know, the ones that go to the lower ankle.
Idiot.
You know the ones that you have to wear the slide flip flops on.
Shut
you know what I'm
up,
talking about?
dude.
Dave is the kind of guy that wears like socks and slides. You know, like, tell me you don't. I mean, I can't remember if I've seen you do that before, but you have to.
Yeah, you have.
The Nike like slides with like the big ass poofy white socks.
Yeah. Poofy white socks.
You know the ones that you know your toes are sweating.
Yeah. Yeah. I got a bone to pick with you, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guys, get some people in here. Hit that like button.
Hit the like.
I don't like button signs. Seen better days. Now, if you're not subscribed here, do us a favor. Subscribe. Like the video. Hit the notification bell. And not everybody's liked the video yet. You there who hasn't liked the video?
You there.
What's going on? Why? ¿Por qué?
Come on, guys. If you're here, you know. If you're here, we know you like us.
And
We'd
stay
like
active
you to
in the chat. YouTube likes an active, thriving community that is engaged in conversation. All right, so real quick, let's get into that roll call. All right, so first in the chat, we got Why You Loud? Gang! We got Brokey Yoshi, Ding Dong Daddy, Vegas Free Baller, also here in studio. And then we got Broke Yoshi. We got Robert Salazar, Atomic Adam, Redman. We got Servando Shizzy. We got Daniel N. Right. Well, he's first time catching us live. Daniel N. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. We got Cedo151 Crypto. And then we got Marky Mark, Cali Fishing, Yazin Breakfast. And then
Yazin what?
And then we got Redman, Bullish Kenny G. And Jason Mac.
Yazin Breakfast?
French Toaster. Yes.
¿Qué
pasa?
Nothing. Rocco, will you put the camera on you?
If you're new here, say hello.
Well, you and Kyler. Kyler, hop in there. By the way, if you guys are curious, Kyler is a new member of our team here at Sin City Crypto. He is Vegas Free Baller. So as we grow, so will our team. So Kyler, we appreciate you. Thank you so much.
My concern is with Vegas Free Baller and the constant use of gym shorts here. I'm slight concern.
Free.
Slight concern. Just
Free balling. I want to, something that's been on my mind since last night. Couldn't sleep. Out of joy, of course. Robin, what is that price?
Bitcoin's price coming in at $19,733.55.
Now, Rocco Kyler, is that over 19,000 or under 19,000? Stop! Just stop. The mathematician.
Yeah, the pound is actually pound of Bitcoin is at 17,000. Just letting you know.
I could have swore there was someone on this channel yesterday that said, "Mark my words, Bitcoin under 19."
You know what?
Explain yourself.
Okay, the price didn't go down. It went up. What do you know?
No way.
I'm not like David here, where he like throws a temper tantrum. He's like,
Throw a temper tantrum over
you
what?
never pay your bit. Cool. Yeah, I was wrong. Cool. Is that what you want to hear? Cool.
Yep,
Thank you.
yep.
Yeah.
That is what I want to hear.
Thought it would go to 18 and went to 20.
There you go.
Bitcoin did what it did. But you know what I didn't do was what David does and get all salty and upset.
What are you talking about? Why didn't I get salty, man? I don't even like. Speaking of salt,
You remember when
where's the gun? Where's the gun?
So when what was it? The inflation number, no, the interest rate hike was at 0.75. He turned all red and mad. You remember that bit? You never paid up. And I'm just like, bro, just
How did I turn red and mad? You guys blow my reactions out of proportion. I'm like, it takes a lot to get under my skin. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you owe me a dinner. Yeah,
we're going to the buffet. Remember?
I don't do buffets, man.
Well, I don't care
That
what you do.
thing
I'm
just
paying. We're going to the
naturally
buffet.
spreads germs.
You don't get to
and-
pick where we're going. Anyways,
I'm
don't worry, I'll take you to a
got
good
a
buffet.
call coming in from S4 Comunicando.
We should answer. Maybe it's President Bukele.
Think I should answer?
Yeah, answer it on air.
S4 Comunicando. Yeah, you know what?
No? All right.
No feel like getting in Espanol right now.
Mucho gusto. So, that's all I got.
All right. So let's take a quick look. Let's go over the charts before we bring Forrest on. We have Bitcoin once again sitting under 20K, $19,733. So taking a look at the 7-day, a little bounce up. So it's actually pretty bullish here. Did somebody say bullish?
You're so bad. You're such a cheese ball.
All right. So pretty bullish here. Now, this is in sharp contrast to the downward move of the NASDAQ over the last 2 days. So very positive. Now, will this hold over the weekend? That's to be seen. And then taking a look at the rest of the market here, we have kind of Ethereum right in that same zone, $1,350. And with the biggest gainers and losers for the day,
The Banco Mercado is calling me too.
XRP is up 9.8%. So big movement to the upside for XRP. Obviously, we have a lot of XRP news to cover. Not only XRP, but also Quant. So if you want Quant, it is also pumping. Now, taking a look, crypto bubbles, we have Ethereum proof of work, another 80%. This thing is straight rallying, man.
Okay, I'm hearing Luna Classic is about to get relisted on Binance.
You know, Ethereum proof of work staking went live on Binance. This is the reason for them pumping, supposedly.
Proof of work staking?
Yeah. Ethereum proof of work has staking available on Binance now.
Interesting.
That is not something I pulled from any like major news source myself. I think I saw that on Twitter, so take that with a grain of salt. Might not be true, but that's what I saw.
Okay.
Now
Helium up too.
Fear and Greed Index still kind of in that same zone. Which one did you say went up?
Helium.
Yeah,
20%.
helium's still pumping.
Wait, this is on
man.
the week, right?
Oh yeah, this is the week. Oh, okay. So did proof of okay,
There we
Ethereum proof of work
go.
did not. Okay, there we go.
Ripple.
So 7.8 and then XRP up 10% for the day. So yeah. There we go.
You know, if you missed the live show on Monday, which I did, Forrest, his segment, his coin of the week was XRP. So we're curious to see what his thoughts are as far as the price
I
action.
remember
throughout
him
the
saying
week.
something about 60 cents.
62 cents.
Yeah. So
Yeah. You know, there's so many solid projects at great prices. It's so hard to figure out where the hell.
is this NASDAQ a great price? $10,700.
No.
So market's pretty flat today. Big red day yesterday in the traditional markets. So usually in stocks, if you go down 3-5%, things of that nature, big swings to the downside or the upside. Usually you have a correction day to follow. So not surprised here. I'm curious to see where we'll open up on Monday, though. There has been a lot of controversy. You know, I was reading the news and I couldn't do nothing besides thinking of David and the fact that man was on to something. And as much as I hate to say it, I'm like, man, maybe your conspiracy theories are right.
What do you mean?
Because there is some turmoil between U.S. and Russia, and your boy Vladimir Ben Putin, he has been throwing all kinds of, hey, U.S. bombed the pipeline. And caused retaliation. So I was in the camp that that wasn't going to happen, but I was wrong about that. Now,
it makes, it makes sense just because, he can point to the Biden video and say he said it.
And in all honesty, so if you're not familiar with what we're talking about, just a quick synopsis. One of the gas pipelines, I'm not sure if it's a Nord Stream or not, but it runs underwater.
It was a Nord Stream.
So this one it runs underwater over there. I'm not sure which
Sea.
Is it Baltic Sea?
Yeah.
And it ruptured. Now, I think personally, it probably just had a natural rupture, and then people are just pointing fingers because it's easy to say.
People who measure, earthquakes, the seismologists or whatever, they said there was a what seemed like an earthquake style. So they're saying it was for sure blown up. So.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: on both sides, U.S. can be like, "Hey, Russia's over here trying to play." Hey, you don't get no gas, and not to make it sound like they shut it off on purpose. And here you go.
So they're accomplishing
by sabotaging your own gas line. And then Russia's sitting here saying, "Hey, this is an act of terrorism by the U.S. and its allies, and that they're attacking the infrastructure, and which is grounds for
retaliation."
Yes,
it works two ways for Russia, right? One, they can show their people, "Hey guys, because people are fleeing Russia. They don't want to get drafted. They're going to Georgia. They're going to Finland."
My wife is Russian, and her brother's about to get called in.
That's messed up.
So here's the thing: if you've served before, you are in line to go back, right? But here's the catch: all men have to serve 2 years.
Yeah.
So as soon as you're done with high school, you got to go serve 2 years.
Yeah. A lot of countries are
actually,
like that.
I don't know if it's 2 years. I don't know what the timeline is, but I know that once you're done with school, you have to go do some time. And in the military, I think it's 2 years. So, anyways, essentially, he just drafted every male in the country over 18.
There was a video of people literally breaking each other's legs so they don't have to get drafted. There was a video of a dude laying on his side in a stairwell with his foot on the second stair, and this dude comes and jumps on it and breaks it. That's just not funny, man. That's sad stuff, dude.
There's a lot of crazy mess going on over there, and then there is a lot of also the borders are like packed, man. There's like mile-long lines of cars trying to get out. They're leaving on foot, bicycle.
Rob,
anyways,
before go ahead, just finish up.
So anyways, kind of scared there. Anyways, I just have one thing to talk about. So in reference to that, they're dropping new sanctions. So something to keep an eye out for. We did get into a lot of supply chain issues with the sanctions that we have. Not to mention we had a shakeup in currency, which might have caused some of the DXY to go up via the sanctions and booting Russia off of the SWIFT system. So more sanctions to come. Now, how much will this impact the our current situation on the global financial? Who knows? Now, the Biden administration announces new economic sanctions on hundreds of Russian officials and companies. Now, this is all because Russia has annexed the parts of Ukraine that they took over. So basically, they invaded Ukraine and because of military conflict. Anyways, some of that land, Russia said, hey, you're now part of Russia. No longer are you part of Ukraine. Anyways, lots of pushback. So the new sanctions target several front companies outside of Russia that help Russia with military suppliers evading sanctions. So, you're going to see more companies blacklisted from, working with the U.S. and European nations more than likely as well. So we'll see. As the story unfolds, we'll give you a little bit more up to date on that. So.
Robin, before we bring our man Forrest on, will you give 3 Olas? We have my Scandinavian brother, Jimmy Ellefson, Matty J, and Jean-Georges.
Okay. We got Jean-Georges, Matty J, and what was the other one?
Jimmy.
And Jimmy. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
All right. Before we bring the man, if you're a member of this channel, we have a new emoji, Forrest emoji. Go ahead and throw that in the chat as we bring on our favorite guest, Forrest from Crypto Stackers Pro. Let's bring him in. Forrest. What's up, man?
My man.
Oh, you're muted. Wait, are we?
Rocco? No, we'll get you patched in with that.
Yeah, we'll get you. Oh, the M's got to be on his VMix call. There you go.
Okay.
Am I good now?
You're good.
Yes, sir.
We got to take the A off though.
What's up, guys?
How you doing?
Doing well. Market's looking good and bad. It's a little dicey out there, but
For sure.
hope everyone's doing all right. I love the emoji. I appreciate that.
I feel great because I won a bet against Robin. He said Bitcoin was going to be at under 19K coming in today, and it was not. So, by the way, we got your emoji finally. You like it?
Yeah, love it.
It's a long time coming, my friend. You deserve it. You're a staple of this channel, so we appreciate you. All right, Forrest. Let's kind of talk, and we don't have to get into the charts now, but we talked about, you did the coin you did for us on Monday was XRP. You talked about some long area, short areas. Did you end up putting any trades in? Are you still sharing the same sentiment? Kind of, if you want to also give a synopsis of what you did say on the video on Monday.
Yeah, so it's like 46 to 47, 48 cent zone has been heavy support and resistance. It's been a contention level. I've messed around with a couple shorts, couple longs, but most have been stopped out at slight profit. I move my stop losses into profit now, especially in these choppy conditions immediately. We're so choppy that I'm trying to, if I take a position, immediately make sure I've got profits locked in and eliminate the possibility of any losses. But as far as the range play goes, still looking to short at 62 cents, still looking to long at, I believe, 40 cents. I don't have the chart in front of me right now. We can pull that up in just a second, but I think 40 cents is the support level. So, look, if the market deteriorates here and Bitcoin crashes down below its lows and, XRP comes down to 40 cents, could be a good pickup as bullish as it's looking lately with, the good news coming out about it's the case. Then if it gets a little bit crazy, 62 cents is a big resistance level. And I'm not saying that XRP can't go above 62 cents, but I expect some price reaction to that level, meaning if we pump up to 62 cents, I expect some sort of a pullback, even if it's just temporary, and I want to short that. And potentially, pick a good top if we do go lower from 62 cents.
Now, feel free to, not answer this question if you don't feel comfortable doing it, but is XRP part of your holdings? Do you have a bag of XRP that you're holding on to, not actively trading?
No, I don't like XRP for my personal bags, just because I say this, like, you got Bitcoin maxis, you got Ethereum maxis. I am now identifying myself as a supply side tokenomics maxi, maximalist. So
a new thing?
That's my thing.
Like
is just I want cryptocurrencies in my portfolio that have really, really solid supply side tokenomics. And it doesn't, like if you look at the circulating supply of XRP versus the total supply, it's like 50%. And I believe Ripple still owns a bunch. I don't know exactly how much. I haven't done a deep dive, but I just don't like something that has a circulating supply of 50%. And that doesn't mean it's not a good cryptocurrency. That doesn't mean that it can't perform well. It absolutely can perform well. It already has performed well. It's like been a top 10 cryptocurrency for a very long time. But I'm looking to concentrate my bets on stuff that's got really solid supply side tokenomics, because when demand does come in for those either deflationary or those hard capped tokens with no inflation, it pushes the price up harder. It just pushes up the price harder, and it's in my opinion, it's one of the better risk reward variables to be accounting for and isolating for in your long-term holdings.
Question. So what are some tokens that you deem really good on the supply chain side or in the supply side?
Right now, Ethereum, I think, is absolutely king on supply side tokenomics, with being basically deflationary. Once we start to see some activity kick back up, it's already had periods of deflation, but the inflation or the issuance right now is very, very low, and it can kick deflationary. Another token that I've recently taken a position in is QNT. Quant. I know you guys did a deep dive on Quant. You guys were pretty big fans of it.
Yeah.
It has like 14.5 million tokens total, and like 85% of them are already circulating, and the team only took 6%.
Yep.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think those are locked for quite some time anyways. And you also have a tokenomics model where, the companies that come in and pay for licensing fees have to lock up QNT, have to pay for that in QNT. So it has that kind of potentially deflationary pressure on the circulating supply. And we've seen now twice, Quant is a relatively new token. It pumped really hard in the bull market, and it's pumping right now. So it's now proven twice that, it's generating demand in this bear market and pushing price upwards. It's now proven that it can generate demand in a bear market, and it can generate demand in a bull market. So all I need is proof of demand. I need proof that demand can come in, right? And really, really solid supply side tokenomics. And I'm very, very happy to take a position in QNT. Also, the chart of QNT looks insane. It's got like this massive reverse head and shoulders.
Yeah. Yeah. When we were doing our deep dive video on Quant, I was blown away by the founder, Gilbert Verdian, and kind of his expertise and where it goes and what Quant is looking to do, being essentially a layer 0, a software where it can interact with any blockchain. So we're definitely bullish on that too. Now, of course, I want to pivot to Bitcoin, and I want to talk about some news that came out today regarding MicroStrategy Bitcoin and the Lightning Network. So I'm going to go ahead and share my laptop. MicroStrategy is making a new Bitcoin play. This is sourced from The Block. They have plans to build a Lightning Network-based software as a service platform, which with that, they're looking to enable new e-commerce uses and to provide enterprises with innovative solutions to cybersecurity challenges. It also will enable businesses to, quote, roll out Lightning to 100,000 employees every day or open Lightning Wallet for 10 million customers overnight. Now, Forrest, are you, and I'm not sure if we've talked about this, but are you bullish on Lightning Network? A lot of the maxis are really not, but is this something you think can take Bitcoin out of, hey, it's just a store value, it's clunky, to, hey, this is something that people can use every day?
No, if I'm being honest, I'm not a big fan of, you guys know I'm not a huge fan of Bitcoin to begin with. That is very contrarian. I get that. A lot of people that come into crypto come in through Bitcoin, and they love Bitcoin. And I've kind of, talked about in the past the reasons why I'm not a big fan of it. The energy expenditure and whatnot is, negative for price action, net negative. It's costly to run the network. Also, the Lightning Network doesn't scale unless it's centralized, right? Because essentially to interact on the Lightning Network, you can interact on it in a decentralized manner. If I go open up a Lightning Network channel with Starbucks, and then I open up one with David, then I open up with Robin, and then like I can open up all of these channels manually, but you run into liquidity flow issues, and you also run into issues of like transaction fees for each of those channels has to remain funded, right? So I have to maintain my Bitcoin on that channel, and then to get it on into that channel, I have to pay a transaction fee. To get it off of that channel, I have to pay a transaction fee. So opening all of these channels up individually in a decentralized manner, to me, is not realistic for the average user. So what happens is you get these hubs like Strike, you get these centralized entities that essentially act like banks on top of the Lightning Network, and then they open up all of these channels and manage these channels, and basically they custody your Bitcoin in their hub, and then you don't have to worry about managing these channels. So essentially, in order for the Lightning Network to scale in a meaningful way, it has to be centralized, which is, you can argue for or against it. You can accept the centralization, but it just kind of goes against the ethos of Bitcoin to begin with. Is like, why do I want to put my Bitcoin in a bank? The whole point of Bitcoin is to get away from that system. The other thing is that I have an issue with Bitcoin and Bitcoin's Lightning Network is that eventually Bitcoin has to switch to a fee model. And what I mean by that is every Bitcoin halving, the reward gets cut in half for Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin's price doesn't double every 4 years to make up the gap or the drop in rewards, miners end up making less and less and less. So if Bitcoin doesn't 2x every 4 years, Bitcoin reward halvings are getting cut in half. So miners make less. Right. So in order to make miners, or for miners to make money, they have to take fees on transactions, right? Which is arguably not great, because Bitcoin's not on that layer one is not super scalable, and adding transaction fees makes it less scalable and more expensive. But then when you outsource transactions to a centralized Lightning Network, you're actually taking those transactions away from the miners, and you're creating a situation now where transactions are not happening on layer one. So miners are making less money, and it just becomes this whole scalability issue. It is a complex topic, and there's a lot of nuance to discussing it and debating it. I've researched it deeply, and I've come to the conclusion that I'm not comfortable with Bitcoin the way that it currently is. If they were to switch to a proof of stake model, I'd be a much more of a Bitcoin fan. But again, a lot of maxis do not like proof of stake whatsoever. So yeah. I'm bullish on crypto, but I'm not bullish on Lightning Network. I'm not bullish on Bitcoin super long term as a proof of work protocol.
Fair enough, man. You know, I understand it's very contrarian to say Bitcoin. You're not a big fan, but you know,
here's the thing: is that the industry in itself is so new that there's only, outside of like maybe Ethereum, I mean, there's really not any like projects out there that have stood the test of time. And the concern that I think a lot of people have is that you get into the market and, you know, which projects are going to stay around. And the longer you're around, the more comfortable you are for investors. You know, you can be repeatedly attacked and tested. And, you know, as time goes on, the investor feels more comfortable, or the user at the end of the day feels more comfortable in that ecosystem. And I just think it hasn't developed that long. So if you're getting into the space, you're new, or even you're making a case for Bitcoin, it logically makes sense for you to fall back to, hey, Bitcoin is the best because, well, it's been around for this amount of time, and everything else is still speculative. And that just isn't going to last. And if software hasn't taught you anything, like, you can just look at the history. And I don't see the cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, I don't see them breaking the natural cycles that is technology and software when it comes to updates and adjusting to the environment. You know, we don't use the same CDs anymore. We evolved to DVDs, and we evolved to, you know,
DVDs are CDs, right?
Yeah. Then you evolved over to the next to to the next technology, and now we stream instead of downloading. And that's just a natural progression because it's more efficient, it's faster, it's easier, ends up ultimately being cheaper because the companies, take less money to produce said items, and that gets passed on to the user. You still don't pay as much. Even with inflation, you don't pay as much for a Blockbuster, for a movie that you would got from Blockbuster at the tail end of that business model where you're paying $8 for a new movie. You could still rent movies for like $3, $4, which is, so you see what the savings do. And the same can be said for all software, just straight up. Like, if software becomes cheaper, if it becomes cheaper, faster, and easier and more decentralized to use a different cryptocurrency than Bitcoin, then what use case can you make for Bitcoin being the truth outside of the current situation where it's been around for, 13 years now? And so,
I mean, it is
when the other chains get that time under their belt,
it is considered the most decentralized, right?
I mean, that's even an argument. Most of the crypto is mined by, it's like, was it 12? I think 90% of the Bitcoins mined are done by like 12 mining companies. And so is it decentralized? I mean, is it? I mean, honestly, you could make an argument that proof of stake where you have, thousands of different stake pools operating as a node in each one, you can make an argument that that's more decentralized. And I think, the space is just too new. Everyone always wants to crown themselves as either the most fastest, the most decentralized. It's like every website.
Stop talking about Solana.
Every website you go to, it's the most is at the top. And I'm just like, guys.
One thing Forrest said, and I'm a little more bullish on Bitcoin than Forrest is. One thing you said though, and this is me paraphrasing. You said, if this asset class, if digital, like cryptocurrency, is going to be this massive asset class, you can't tell me that the very first coin hit the nail on the head right away. Like, right?
Yeah, that, and just another point to add is like, there's every model has flaws, and it's just a matter of time before I think some of those potential flaws come to light. One being, in the case of for Bitcoin, again, Bitcoin has a lot of things that it's done really, really well. It's got an amazing community, very strong. There's a lot of positives, so I don't want to come across as I'm only focusing on negatives of Bitcoin. But right now, we've never seen a really, really massive spike globally in energy prices since Bitcoin's been around. What happens if energy prices globally start rising for a period of time because there's economic turmoil and geopolitical turmoil? Now, we would suspect that over the long term, energy technology is only going to get better and that energy prices should trend lower in the long term. However, Europe has seen like a catastrophic spike in its energy prices due to this whole Russia-Ukraine thing. If that gets worse, in a time of political turmoil, in a time of energy prices skyrocketing, you would want a currency that doesn't depend on energy prices or isn't affected by that variable. So that's another potential thing that worries me is, Bitcoin's often touted as like, okay, if stuff really hits the fan here, if things really get ugly, World War III breaks out, you're going to want Bitcoin. But it's like, what is that going to do to energy prices? And when energy prices 4x across, most markets, that's going to decrease the security of Bitcoin by, roughly 2 to 4x, right? Because miners are making less and miners have to go offline.
And the difficulty is going up too.
I'm sorry?
The difficulty is going up too. It's at like all-time highs. Yeah.
So, there's so many variables and it's such a complex, nuanced conversation to have. And I think a lot of people, they don't put the thought into it, or they don't even read into it, or they don't do calculations. They don't look at the data and they're like, immediately Bitcoin maxi or immediately Ethereum maxi. And they're just picking a team. They're like, it's like, yeah, that's fine if you're rooting for the Green Bay Packers, right? If you're picking, or the Dallas, like if you're picking a football team and you just want to be a diehard maxi football team fan, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But when it comes to like stuff that's not as cut and dry as football
Right.
or sports. Like there's like discussions to be had, and there's variables at play that are more complicated than just picking a team. And I think so many people just come in and pick a team and they refuse to budge.
They're lazy. They're lazy.
I will say that with the Green Bay Packers, they're lacking fundamentals.
You have no room to talk. Your shitty team is 0-3, bro. 0-3.
And forecasting out the, they're on a downward trajectory.
We don't want to forecast out for the Raiders because they suck. All right, Forrest, we are going to hand this thing over to you, my friend. I know you're going to talk about XRP, and go right ahead.
Yeah, we can talk about whatever cryptocurrencies you want to take a look at. We can talk about XRP first. So we should note that XRP didn't experience nearly as large of a move as a lot of other cryptocurrencies did. I believe this was like an 18 to 19x from the absolute pandemic bottom. A lot of other stuff, like if you looked at Cardano, I think it was like a 200x or something like that. And a lot of this was because this, despite the bull market, this case came in. The SEC came in, and a lot of people were scared about XRP for one reason or another. And you saw like just a ton of volatility. So you'll note that these easy bands haven't come down quite as hard as a lot of other cryptocurrencies have. We'll go look at Solana, and you see, in the case of Solana, these easy bands, like Solana blew up. It went from like $1 to $260. It's 260x. So it's going to give a lot more back, and we can see these easy bands for Solana are still pointed downwards. Right, meaning these are coming down at a very fast pace and reducing the potential, basically decreasing the levels of resistance that we're going to experience if we move back down. Now, we don't have that for XRP, or not nearly to the same degree. Right, these easy bands are already starting to flatten out and potentially start turning back up. So if we maintain this upward trend, these can start moving upwards, and we can start getting potential price levels that are much higher than what we're seeing right now. Like right now, in a bull market, right? In a bull market, you'll go above the red easy bands occasionally, right? In a bear market, I don't expect to really go above the red easy bands. I'll go over to Bitcoin, right? Last time we were in a bear market rally, where did we go to? We went to the red easy bands, right? We peaked slightly above it. I'll go to Ethereum. In a bear market, let me zoom out a little bit. Where'd we go? We spent some time in the red easy bands. So in these bear market rallies, I don't want to get too, fall into the trap of getting too bullish and thinking, oh, this is going to spike way above the red easy bands. I want to let this prove. I want to make the price action prove it to me, and I want to see a trend develop over time, and for these easy bands to start moving upwards, and then we can adjust our targets back up into the $1.50, $2.50, $3.50 range. Right now, price targets, and the reason that I'm willing to short XRP at 62 cents. Now, keep in mind, I'll move my stop loss right into profit immediately as soon as I can, if I get the opportunity to. I don't want to step in front of a freight train. If this thing's going to move up, I'll flip long on it if it makes some support here. But what I want to see is, these easy bands start to move upwards so we can have this trend reversal and trend developing. All right, so as far as the levels that I'm looking at for XRP, I'm going to take our easy bands from our last local high. And this is a really nice local high to take our easy bands from, because we have pretty much 2 points here. We didn't quite get there this time, or the second time, but we have a really nice, almost a double top, or pretty much a double top there. So we know that there's going to be a lot of liquidity up here, a lot of people looking to hide their liquidation levels below this level, and that's going to reflect in some stronger margin pressure levels. Now, if we take from the low here, we're going to start to see some resistance here in this 57 to 62 cent region, right? So I'm just going to start marking these off, and I'll change that from purple to just make it black. So we're already kind of developing a zone of resistance there based off of our last highs and our lows. I can start moving our local low up a notch, and you can see, this was a nice little double bottom support level that held, right? And that's going to give us some resistance at 60 cents, right? If I move this up to our last local low before we really started this trend reversal, that's going to give us really strong confluence here at 62 cents. as another reversal level or another resistance level. So as we start to see this trend continue, right, and we start to move up into this zone, I want to look at 62 cents. And again, this is going to be in our red easy band level. And by the time this gets here, who knows, these red easy bands could start moving up and we could actually see resistance from our red dashed easy band level at that 62 cent region as well. So essentially what I'm trying to do is just trade the range. Look at this. We've got confluence here. We've got confluence here, 2 margin pressure levels on each of those levels. That's 46.8 cents. So as we come back down, that's a long level, right? We'll go long at 46, 47 cents. As we go up, 62 cents is a short level, right? And, these other levels aren't strong enough to really make me want to short something that's this explosive. So think of it as, I'm blanking on an analogy here, but almost like these two levels could potentially slow down and buffer XRP's explosive price action, and then 62 cents may end up being the place where we end up stopping.
Not Forrest.
And if you catch, go ahead.
Sorry to cut you off. You talk about explosive price action. What do you now? Robin's theory on XRP when the lawsuit settles is that once it settles, let's say XRP wins, Ripple wins. You're going to have all these exchanges running out to buy up liquidity. What do you think that could do for price? Are there any immediate levels of resistance that you think it could just blow by right away? Is there a big one where you think even if this happens, I don't think it can break this level?
Yeah, I mean, look, if I don't know exactly, how high this can or can't go, we could find some higher resistance levels with higher margin pressure levels. But essentially, you do have to understand that some of this, right, some of that buying, some people are front running this decision, right? We've already seen 50% increase, right? We've seen in total an 80% pump. Just based off of kind of the rumors and the bullishness of this case. So you got to be careful here not to, buy the rumors, not to get caught in a buy the rumor, sell the news event. And again, I think this is a situation in which, it would be incredibly bullish if XRP wins the case. But some of that has, the likelihood of that has increased lately, and the price has reflected that. So it's not like we'd be exploding off of 30 cents anymore, and it'd just be kind of catch everybody off guard. Oh, XRP won the case. We didn't know it was going to happen. We can kind of see the market speculating already that XRP is going to win the case. So yeah, I mean, we've moved from the green easy bands all the way up to potentially targeting the red easy band level. I just want to be very careful about getting too ahead of ourselves, especially while we are in a bear market where maybe it does pump, maybe it's a runaway freight train and just everybody piles in and we go considerably higher. But we can always adjust these margin pressure levels up to match, right? We can move this local low up to our last correction, and again we get more confluence at 62 cents. So we get yet another resistance level at 62 cents. So that's now 3 levels of resistance that we have at 62 cents with some kind of buffering levels leading into 62. Maybe we blow through 62, get stopped out, right? And we come back and buy 62 as support. And if that's the case, then maybe we do run up to some of these higher levels and we can, lever up at 62 cents as support and catch it on the other side. Essentially, what we're just identifying is these key levels that where the market incentives shift and where momentum potentially shifts. So if it's bullish enough news, we can definitely pump through 62 cents and then come back and find it as support. But because we now have 3 levels of confluence here as resistance, and we're in the red easy band zone where things become a little bit overbought compared to where they've been historically, just want to be careful and short 62 cents to begin with. If I get stopped out, I'll just buy it. I'll flip long and ride it higher. Hopefully that makes sense.
Oh yeah. Sorry, my bad. No, you're good. All right. What are your thoughts? I don't know. Did you have any other charts you wanted to share?
I'm happy to go over anything. I do think QNT is really worth looking at right now.
I was going to ask you about QNT. Yeah.
Yeah. So, again, beware because we are in the red easy band zone. We are in the red easy band zone, but keep in mind, this is a new-ish cryptocurrency. And price discovery could be pretty aggressive. Again, we are in a bear market. So I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but again, look at, you look at Solana, a new cryptocurrency back last bull market. Price discovery was very, very aggressive, very, very aggressive. And that was, essentially Solana moving from a top 100 cryptocurrency to basically the, top, 10. QNT is somewhere ranked around 30th to 40th, I believe. Lately, it's probably, passing up a lot of cryptocurrencies today as it's up. Well, I've got this kind of level marked out. Obviously, this is our head and shoulders support level, right? Our left shoulder and our right shoulder. That would be the level that, hey, if we're getting ahead of ourselves right now, and I took a position around 130, and it's kind of halfway between a trade and an investment, I would have just traded this, but it's not available on a lot of derivatives exchanges, which is actually kind of a reason to be bullish on it. You can only get it on like Coinbase. So we don't have to necessarily worry about a bunch of shorts coming in and pushing this thing back down, which is an interesting thing, variable at play. But let's just say I'm wrong about this. I can just buy it. We can always just buy it on the 21-week simple moving average down here if we come back down to test that, or $84, the support level. I'm sure if I put on the margin pressure levels here, we'd see some support around that level as well. So I'd potentially just turn this, instead of, I'll adjust this very briefly, right? Let's say we're wrong, or let's say I'm wrong. We could just turn this into a range play and start trading it like that, moving forward. Now, if I get rid of this bottom line here, obviously this line, we've got a very steep trend line, very, very, very steep trend line. Pay attention to that to see if it holds or if it does come back to this level. So I'll get rid of that, and that. And this is really the reason why I bought this. Let me invert the scale. Right now, if you saw this, right, if you saw this monstrosity of a pattern of a head and shoulders here, you would be. Maybe? Yeah, we're shorting. We're terrified. We're like, this looks terrible. It's breaking through. Oh, and then you zoom in a little bit and you realize, it broke through and then held this as resistance. That's a short trigger. Right there. That's a short trigger. That looks, horrendously bearish if this was the case, and I'd be looking to short. So, why wouldn't I look to invert the scale or uninvert the scale? Why wouldn't I look to long on this? And again, this is where a lot of people can get caught off guard because things are very bearish right now, and stuff can people are probably slow to get into QNT, but as it continues to go higher and higher and higher, people may, and I'm not saying it's going to $300, I'm not saying it's going to $1,400 or anything like that, but I do think that people could get caught off guard here, and people could really start piling in, and this could turn into the chain link of this bear market. Last bear market, chain link just completely destroyed everything in its path on its way to becoming a top cryptocurrency. So just very straightforward. This is just a monstrous reverse or inverse head and shoulders. You factor in the really solid tokenomics, which makes me comfortable holding it. And you also factor in the founder's background. Previously, I believe he was on the Fed board. He's in like 6 different companies. But basically, there's a lot of regulation facing crypto right now, a lot of regulatory risk. And QNT is potentially positioned as something that could be not impervious to that regulation, but play into it and be a safe haven from that regulation because of the founder's previous history and his familiarity with the space and pull in the United States government and with the Fed, and it's also ISO 222 compliant like XRP is, I believe. So there's a lot of when I look at the rest of my portfolio, there's a lot of things that QNT potentially hedges against. I hate that I didn't get this at its green easy bands, but I think, aside from the people that had the foresight to do that, there's a good reason not to pull the trigger on QNT right here because it's such a new cryptocurrency. It hasn't proved demand in a bear market, and it hasn't proved demand twice. It proved demand in a very speculative period, but now it's proving demand a second time. Now I'm a fan. I'm a fan because it can prove that it can draw demand in a bull market. Everything, dog coins, meme coins can find demand in a bull market. That's nothing special. But when you have a cryptocurrency that in horrible economic circumstances, terrible, the things have rarely looked worse than they do right now, and you can still prove that there's demand for it, that makes me bullish, and that makes this a candidate for something that, again, I'm not saying this is going to 10x. I've got a line up there. I'm not saying this is going to 10x, but that turns into something that has serious potential to rip. And again, I'm not saying it's going to rip, but there's a lot of reason to believe that there's potential for it to rip. You got the reverse head and shoulders, the regulation friendliness, the supply side tokenomics, the founder being plugged in, and demand coming in a bear market, and all of those things to me added up to make this a buy. So yeah, maybe I'm exit liquidity up here, but if we fall back down, I'll just kind of add to my position. So that's kind of my thoughts on quant right now. I'm not a big fan of buying in the red easy bands, but we made an exception because of this head and shoulders.
Love it. Now, just real quick, maybe in like 2 minutes, Forrest, we did a request from the chat. Can you take a look at Atom and maybe talk about whether it's a good time to get in, to get out, what your thoughts are?
Yeah, Atom could potentially be able to buy the rumor, sell the news. I believe the Atom 2.0 white paper's come out. I haven't gotten a chance to review it yet, but it's pretty straightforward, pretty bullish from what I can understand. I mean, Atom is potentially, fixing some supply side tokenomics issues and continuing to earn staking rewards from from the projects in the ecosystem. We have broken this trend though. We have broken this trend, so this is bearish. Again, it's Cosmos is a really great play, but you do have to understand that this has been on an absolute tear despite a bear market, despite a horrible time. This moved up 200% from bottom to top. It proved that there can be demand in a bear market. So again, pay attention to the stuff that's doing well right now. QNT, Atom, even XRP, right? Getting this demand in a bear market. Those are all projects that you want to pay attention to. So if you can get demand in a bear market and get price appreciation in a bear market, imagine in a bull market. So Cosmos, yes, I like Cosmos, but I'd want to get it at a cheaper price. I'd want to potentially find it at a lower price. Because we, unlike QNT, which has that very bullish pattern, we actually have a very bearish pattern here in that we're breaking out of this channel upwards. So I do want to be, aware of that. Hey, we could, get another push here and then, potentially look back to move down at $10, $11. A lot of people that bought in here were probably playing this narrative of Cosmos 2.0 and whatnot. And now that that's out, you're probably going to have some short-term profit takers that could drive the price downwards. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe we'll turn this ship around soon, but we want to just play it a little bit safer here with Cosmos. As far as from a trading perspective, we'll move down to this last local low. We see that we've fallen out of the consolidation in these margin pressure levels. We've broken below, and it looks like we've held as resistance. Again, that is a potential short trigger, and makes this not look incredibly attractive from the short term. Now, we do have plenty of support levels coming in below us, because if we just move our local lows back, again, the benefit to seeing this kind of trend, slow trotting trend upwards, is you build up these support levels all along the way, and it takes a longer time for this to kind of grind downwards, and there's support levels and bounces along the way. But if I just looking at this, I'd just potentially be looking to buy on the 21-week simple moving average, right? If you really want an entry for Cosmos, if you're really bullish on the market in the next, in Q3, or I'm sorry, not Q3, Q4, Q1, if you're bullish on Cosmos in general, if you're bullish on 2023, I'm bullish on Q4. I'm worried about 2023 a little bit, but look, we've spent a ton of time above the 21-week simple moving average. This is going to start curving upwards slowly. We do have our 2x long coming in. Our potential entry point here for a long would probably be around $11.10. If I throw on our short levels from our high here, probably that guy. Again, we get some confluence here around 1146. And we're going to have that 21-week simple moving average coming in. So, if you're just dying to get into Cosmos, I'd say, not financial advice, but it could pay off to be patient and take a little bit more of a conservative approach to pick it up at $11. And then if things get ugly, right? If things get ugly, $8.30 to $8.60 is on the table as well. Hopefully that helps.
Oh, absolutely. That's amazing. All right, Forrest. Is there anything else you want to talk about on your way out? Whether it be anything exciting happening on Crypto Stackers, anything you want to talk about?
We've got the Discord. Discord's filling up. I post some trade setups. This week has been a really, really solid week for me trading with the margin pressure levels. Been sizing down, levering up to 25x, locking in profits with stop losses immediately. I've had some really, really solid trades this week. Obviously, if you're interested in getting the margin pressure levels, head over to cryptostackers.pro and join the Discord. It's a great community, lots of information and alpha being shared all the time. But otherwise, we're starting to see some whispers on Twitter and general sentiment that we could have Uptober. Global macro recently has just looked horrible, but the S&P 500 is in a dicey spot. It might hold support here. Q4 is historically a better quarter for the S&P 500, particularly in a midterm election year. September is historically the worst month for Bitcoin, for crypto, for S&P 500 in a midterm election year or otherwise. So look, it's been a horrible month, but that's somewhat expected. October, November, and December are generally better months. So there's potential for a bounce. I'm not saying we're going to get out of this recession, and I'm not saying we're not going to have a recession in 2023, but potentially be looking for securing some capital if we get a nice bounce here and you're worried about 2023. There could be some opportunities where we get some bounces and you could take some profits and reallocate and start hedging. I'm personally hedging into oil and energy because I'm worried about an oil or energy crisis, black swan event. You could just unlock some stable coins, some dollars. If you feel like you've been short on dollars recently and you're worried, this could be a good bounce. Otherwise, you could be, allocating some money towards, some riskier investments now in hopes that, Q4 is a little bit better. Lots of ways to play this, but there's potential for upside. It's been very fearful out there lately, and just be careful. Now, in the same vein, if things crash and go lower, have those stop losses in. Have a plan. Be willing to. If you're in any cryptocurrencies right now, you probably shouldn't be in anything that you're not willing to hold through a really, really bad crash. That's the one piece of non-financial advice that I would give is we could get a nasty crash here, and you're going to want to be in stuff that you want to hold, and you're going to want to have some cash to buy. You're going to want to have some, hedges. So just keep all that in mind as we go into what has been or continue what has been a really, really rough and stormy year.
To stack on what you're saying, right now, the vibe I'm getting from social media, from YouTube channels, even CNBC and major broadcast channels, is that we are headed for lower lows and more pain. And one thing I've learned, especially in the crypto industry, is that when the masses all think that the market is going to move in a certain direction, a lot of times it will fool you and go the other direction. So I am cautiously aware that the vibe is that we're going to go further down. I do think that we might trend the other direction because history has went against the crowd's expectations there, or at least we know that traders will put in positions to make money off of what the crowd is expected to do. Anyways, Forrest, man, you're just straight dropping alpha on us, man. We love your content. We love having you on. It's nice to get your Monday perspective as well, and then to kind of see what how the markets move when you visit us on Fridays as well. So really thank you again for sharing that content with us on Mondays now as well. So
also go Rocco, will you put up his Twitter handle real quick? Go follow Forrest on Twitter at 0xstacker. He tweets, he puts together amazing threads all the time, his trades. Go join their Discord, and if you like charting, the Crypto Stackers Pro, that link is in the description of this video. Also, subscribe to Crypto Stackers Pro on YouTube. Forrest, we love you. We appreciate you. Thank you as always, my friend. We will see you next Friday.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on. And make sure you drop a like on the way out. I see 146 people in the live stream, and that's a lot of people. So we want to make sure we get those likes up.
Let's go, baby.
Awesome. We'll see you guys.
Thanks
for
having
having me
Have
on.
a great weekend,
Thank
brother.
you again. All right. So, guys, if you're new here, say hello. I'll give a couple shout outs here. We got Zeth. Zeth is new, I believe. Also, Calvin V. We got also a couple other new people.
Michael
Patir,
Rocks.
Bound Michael, and then if I missed your name, anyways, and Raul San Miguel. Hola, welcome to Sin City Crypto. And we'll open up the club here shortly, guys. I do want to say I was looking over Cosmos, and they did release their white paper, their new white paper on Monday. The big takeaway for them is that their token is gonna become more deflationary. They've had some tokenomic issues as far as inflation in the past, so this is one of the biggest addresses in that department. So we're really bullish here on Cosmos. It's been around for a while.
Yeah, it's been
And
around for a while.
they're the leader right now in the layer 0. And you know what? As you see more and more of these layer 1s pop up and more of these layer 1s that aren't interoperable with one another, it just makes sense to combine the ecosystem, make transactions a little bit more fast paced and easy between the two. And I mean, we all see the difficulties of having to sell a token and then buy it and then transfer it to another wallet and then sell it.
Here's the great thing with the Atom 2.0 too is now anyone you can use the Atom token to essentially stake. You don't have to use your own native token. So that's going to help push the price up for Atom when the liquidity or when the demand does come back. Robin, will you give a quick couple of holas to Mr. Casual?
Mr. Casual
And Raul.
Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. All right, so in case you guys aren't familiar, when we reach new milestones here, when we get over 100 viewers in the chat,
What do we do?
We like to have a Vegas party. We do what Vegas
What's a
does
Vegas
best.
party?
Well,
Should
Vegas.
we show them? Should we show them what a Vegas party looks like?
So what Vegas does best? One, we do a badass cryptocurrency TV show. Two, we got nightclubs, and when you have nightclubs, you have a party, you dance, you
What's
pop
in those
bottles,
nightclubs?
music, and dance moves. So without further ado, let's celebrate some new milestones. Having
Let's go, baby.
the friends and
Rocco,
familia.
open up the club. Getting busy. You know what?
What's that? ¿Qué pasa?
I got two haters now. Brokioshi, I liked you until that comment. I got one hater. That's more than enough. Trust me. Just kidding. Again, you guys, big shout out to Forrest. Go support the man. Follow him on all the stuff we talked about. Also, we have a few super chats. We had Jimmy dropped a $20 desk fund. If you're new here, some of our community members have an issue with my desk, and they have started a fund for me to buy a new desk, and they want to fly out here and put bullet holes in the desk. Also, Billy, another desk fund, $10 super chat. And then we had a $20 super chat. Was it Marky Mark or was it Brokioshi?
So I've been brainstorming with this desk thing.
Hold on, real quick. Let me finish giving the shout out.
Okay, go ahead. My bad.
No, up higher. There it is. Brokioshi, $20. Smash the likes. Thanks for another great appearance for us. And the hype man himself, Jimmy, gifting out 5 Sin City Crypto memberships. Thank you guys so much. The best community in all of crypto. Don't believe me? Stick around. Okay, go ahead.
So if you guys missed yesterday's show, I do want to let you know that we had a battle. We had a battle with a Rogue Fly. He came in here, and when the live performance, you have no option but to deal with the situation at hand.
What the
You
hell?
can't shut down the show to handle a fly. So without further ado, put together a little clip here of yesterday's fly incident and what we've done
What are you doing
to fix the fly problem here.
That's all I know.
There's a fly.
You
there
found
he
it?
is.
Coolio song?
Yeah, of course. Actually, I even took care of him at the restaurant.
Man. Look at that
It was,
fly, man.
him and
Yeah, please.
Jane Fonda,
James Fonda. Damn, what was that like in the 20s?
like a couple years ago.
Oh man.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
I don't know why,
now
but
it goes with you because you have the barbecue sauce shampoo.
if you
That's what
put
it
barbecue sauce on a sticky fly trap, we would come in here and David would be stuck to it like
Rocco, you're out of line, bro. You're out of pocket.
that we purchase, that we have necessity.
Please, Robin, share your thoughts.
All right. Did you see the fly
Dude, I'm
on
telling
my
you,
face?
and
Like it's on my
literally,
hat,
like,
man.
Leo was like
You
sitting
guys
there,
are
I'm
making
trying to
fun of
ignore
me.
it.
What, do you bar
I
shower?
try-
Yeah, you do that, Rocco.
So, anyways, we have invested into fly protection here. We got the salt gun, baby. We got the salt gun. So, we are fly free in here. This is
man.
not a real gun, by the way. This is a
Yeah,
salt
before
loaded.
YouTube shuts us down.
Yeah, so salt in here. So
All right.
problem solved, baby.
Robin, Brian and Kingston and Mike John, give him some olas.
Brian Kingston and Mike John. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
Brian's from Rochester. Welcome. We have a couple of New York people in here also. Gary Gensler. Yes, he does do that. And there was a question about Cosmos. If he'll be around. Rocco, will you take that away from me, please? Whatever you were working on with the lighting. There we go. Avalanche, Solana, Cosmos all have good utilities. Yes, the only thing that worries me about Solana is their network issues. They are still in beta, but there's only so long you can hide behind the whole "we're still in beta" narrative. So we'll see how that works out. But I want to get going with some of the biggest news we have today, and obviously this was part of our title. This was part of our thumbnail. Huge win. If you are an XRP Ripple fan, throw an X in the chat. Put an X in chat because Ripple scored a massive win against the SEC. This is sourced from multiple different websites. The SEC has been denied a motion to conceal former director William Hinman's speech drafts that he talked about Ethereum not being a security. Judge Netburn said the SEC was acting immoral in its bid to keep the speech drafts out of court. Now, it's important to note the SEC can still delay the submission of the documents, and the SEC could also get an additional 2 to 3 months to delay producing the documents. So we know, and they can also take it to a court of appeals. They can try to appeal the judge again. Now, originally, SEC wanted to hide these emails, not make it public. Judge said no. They appealed it, and this decision today is a judge saying no, your appeal didn't work. Now, SEC can appeal again, or they can go to an appeals court, or they can drag this thing on longer. They can take another 3 months to produce those documents. Is this the nail in the coffin for SEC, Robin?
No, not the nail, but it is a building narrative. We're seeing, it's basically if you were to equate this case as almost like a war, it's like it's a build of battles, and so each little battle that is won it pushes the pendulum in a certain direction, or the gavel in a certain direction. And so what we're seeing is that the SEC is losing its each motion that it pushes forward over and over again. And we haven't seen anything bullish out of the SEC in a while when it comes to this court case and the news, which is vastly different from when this first started. When this court case first came out, it was just damning testimony, and then you had all kinds of evidence that was all stacked up against XRP, and it looked really ugly at first. It was a lot of analysts and all the people out here. I mean, even the biggest XRP supporters were like, yeah, this doesn't look good. And you're not hearing that at all anymore. And it's not because people are bullish and just have the blinders on. I mean, the court case is not looking good for the SEC. Now, do I think they'll wave the white flag?
And they never
Hell no.
lose court cases.
Yeah, so
This is going to be their first biggest
well, they
sale.
never went against somebody that had billions of dollars.
That's right.
And so the SEC has
They done messed with the wrong
SEC
company.
has historically, when it comes to the crypto industry, went after companies, or just maybe not historically, maybe the companies they went after just haven't had the money to defend themselves through a long litigation battle that spans the course of 2 to 3 years. Ripple Labs does though, and damn, they fought a good fight. And so I am super bullish. Now, even if you are not bullish on XRP, even if
This
you're
is
not
great for the crypto space in general.
yeah, because this sets precedents. It sets the benchmark, the baseline. And if this court case gets straight up lost or dismissed, holy dog crap, bro. Because then it's a green light for all ICOs. Because remember, this is an ICO issue.
Sale of tokens.
Yeah, this is a concern over the issuance of the XRP token, and if the sale of those tokens were done in a way that could be deemed as a security. And you can pretty much look at any crypto token project, and they all have ICOs for the most part. And even the ones that don't, that use like a launch pad or something of that nature, or airdrops, those are still can be classified as securities if you were just to kind of tweak the parameters here. So it basically alleviates all of that concern, because there's a lot of investors out there. There's a lot of institutions that want to embrace crypto, but they just have a fear that they'll get into a project and then it'll be deemed as a security because of their ICO later on down the road. And if they squash this with a victory, holy dog crap.
Guys, this is the equivalent of a bully getting punched right in the nose. A bully that no one has stood up to, that people have lost against, that people are afraid of. And that's the SEC. And Ripple is that one kid who does not give a crap, who's got big cojones and just stands right up, walks up to the bully and just bam, jab right to the nose, bloody nose. Guys, even if you're an XRP hater, like Robin said, you cannot doubt the fact that not only will this be a massive win, obviously, for Ripple and XRP, but this is going to be huge for the entire crypto space. Because now, anytime any other company, the SEC tries to sue them, the judge is going to have a beautiful court case right in front of them and say, hey, this sounds awfully familiar, and this is what the judge found. How about we save the taxpayers some money? How about you save the court some time? And let's take a look at what happened with the SEC Ripple case. And a lot of that is going to fall in line with what happened with Ripple and the SEC. So whether you're a fan or a hater of XRP, a win for Ripple is a win for the entire crypto space and what we're trying to do. And also, Gary Gensler's an idiot. Yeah, don't like the guy.
Did you see him crying on our thumbnail? Man,
I didn't see the thumbnail today. No.
Oh, he's not a happy Gary. If you got a Gary Gensler emoji, throw that in the chat as well.
That's right.
And then also Cart with Stone. Hola, welcome City Crypto. Cool.
Right.
What else we got here?
We have
on the docket?
we have some pretty interesting news. There is new legislation that involves crypto and your 401ks. This is sourced from The Block. This is going to be called the Retirement Savings Modernization Act, which would allow fiduciaries to recommend crypto without legal liability.
What'd you call me?
And I'll explain why this is so big. It cited, and the 3 Congress people cited inflation and fiscal uncertainty as motivation to do what they want to do. This is not a bipartisan bill, which is the only drawback. It is a partisan bill led by 3 Republicans, Pat Toomey, Tim Scott, Peter Meyer. I'm not trying to turn this political, but let me explain to you why this is more bullish that it's 3 Republicans, because we're all in agreement. The midterms, the Congress and the Senate, or the House and the Senate, are probably going to flip Republican with the state of the economy. That's typically what happens in midterms. So now you have a Republican-sponsored bill to allow essentially investment advisors to talk about crypto. One of my really good friends, his name is Brad Marshall. He runs the Marshall Wealth Group out of San Francisco, California. And I've been trying to get him on the show, but he's like, look, as an RIA, a registered investment advisor, there's only certain things I can talk about with crypto. So I asked him, I was like, so if I come in there and I'm like, hey, what are your thoughts on Bitcoin? You can't, he goes, I cannot tell you whether I like it or don't. Can't talk about what it is, what it's like. I can't, nothing. And so why is this so huge? A lot of people have 401ks, IRAs. They have investment advisors. They have financial advisors they go talk to on a quarterly, on a yearly basis. Now, when they go in and they talk about and they ask a question about Bitcoin, guess what? That person can answer those questions. So this is big in multiple ways. I don't know. I'm pretty bullish on this. What do you think, Rob? Now, this is just legislation that's been introduced, hasn't been signed into law yet. But again, with what I believe the Congress flipping in the midterms, this has a real shot of making it through. Rob?
Well, I like the fact that they cited inflation as
This is the second article we've talked about over the last 3 days that people have pivoted or talked about Bitcoin and crypto when it comes to inflation and uncertainty.
Okay, check this out. If you're supposed to be investing in your retirement, let's say you start investing in your retirement 25, 30 years before you retire. Let's say 21 years old, you start investing in retirement. And you're going to retire at 50, right? So say 29 years. What was the value of a dollar 29 years ago? So let's say 30 years ago, 1982. How much could a $100 buy you in either groceries and gasoline? What was the price of your home? And so for every dollar that you put away, that
was a big fly.
That was big.
The fly don't know.
So the amount of money you put away at that point in time, it's all diminished, right? You probably lost what, 40% of your purchasing power? 30 years.
Yeah.
So basically, everything that you put away in your 401k 30 years ago is now worth probably 40% less. Now, if you flip the idea, you flip the ideology, and you say, hey, when I put away Bitcoin instead of dollars, and I put those into 401k, and I understand 401ks are investments as well into the market. So you're not just putting away dollars on its own. But I'm just giving you an example of what saving dollars would in a traditional savings account, or just what is the value of your dollar over time when you have this out of control inflation. Because it's out of control, man. Oh. And the 2 to 3%, that's just them bleeding you slow enough to where you don't notice it year by year.
Yep.
And that's why they're like, hey, target inflation, 2 to 3%. That's their target because they know anything more than 3%, you're going to be pissed. Anything less,
you'll notice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're going to be pissed. And anything less than 2% ain't enough money for them to print and steal.
Stop it.
So,
dude, Kingston, tell me you're lying.
What's that?
Nah, there's no way. Tell me. I hope he's lying. I hope he's joking.
Yeah.
All right. So extremely bullish, guys. Some of these companies that are going to be offering crypto in their 401ks, they're crypto haters. But guess what? Is if enough people go in there and they start, hey, how come you guys aren't offering Bitcoin in your 401ks? How come I can't put money in any crypto, any Ethereum? And you're flat out like, we don't do that here. Well, guess what? There's going to be companies that do that. And then what does that do? Creates competition. More and more of these large companies are going to start listing crypto. What the
fly's back?
Stop it.
The fly's back?
He said he's joking. Good. Dude, get out of here. What are you, 5? Oh, man. All right. I want to move on. There's one more piece of news I want to talk about, and it's our favorite. And of course, I'm joking. BlackRock launches an ETF in Europe. This is sourced from The Block. It will provide exposure to blockchain and crypto companies for its European customers. 75% of the exposure will be to companies with primary businesses related to blockchain, including crypto miners and exchanges. The other 25% exposure will be to companies supporting the blockchain ecosystem, whether that be payments or semiconductor companies. So, builders or makers of ASICs, let's say Strike, Square, companies that help with the infrastructure as far as payments and stuff like that. So BlackRock, obviously, hate them or love them, they are the world's largest asset manager in the 10, I believe it's like $10.2 trillion in assets under management. That is absolutely ridiculous. The GDP of the entire U.S. economy is 19 trillion. So do the math. So Robin,
Yep.
what are your thoughts on this?
We've seen the push of ETFs in Europe and South America, and when's it coming to the US? That's what I want to know. Because the longer you offer products abroad and your investors with potential dollars that could be pumped into our economy if it stayed here in house is going elsewhere. And so it's frustrating. And you got BlackRock. Well, my question, first of all, is it doesn't list any, Bitcoin as one. I'm assuming that would be kind of the backbone to the ETF in Europe. And with that said, isn't BlackRock ESG?
They are ESG. They are the ESG.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, these guys, I'm telling you, they say one thing and then they see money on the other side and they go that way.
Bro, it's all about the dollars. It's all about the bottom line.
You can be like, hey, man, energy usage bad. Bitcoin bad. And they're like, hey, we can make some money launching an ETF surrounding Bitcoin.
You know what? Now that I think about it, it's not that bad.
Well,
it could be worse.
Well, it's bad in the U.S., but not in Europe because we're not based there. So if we smog it up over there, that's cool. But we keep it green here and then smog over there. Take the money and spend it here.
And,
that's what they do. That's what they do.
With BlackRock's partnership with Coinbase a few weeks ago, we talked about it on the show, how the original idea of Bitcoin, the reason why Satoshi created it, after the 2008 financial crisis, with BlackRock coming in and a lot of these traditional financial companies coming in, the whole ethos of why Bitcoin was created, I believe, is dead. If you want Lambo, you want your portfolio to go up in value, you're gonna need people like BlackRock to come in, bring in the demand, bring in the retail investors, bring in the whales. Now, of course, there's going to be market manipulation. We already know that. There already is, even before these companies were coming in. But you want mass adoption? You want Bitcoin to take over the world? It can't just be what Satoshi wanted, which is peer-to-peer, helping the people that don't have access to what the rich and wealthy have access to. Love it or hate it, we don't have any control over it. This is where it is. And so, but at least we'll all make money. So, which is great. So, Cart with Stone. Robin?
I already said hello.
You did to Cart with Stone?
Yep.
CWS?
Yep.
All right. I'm done. I don't have anything else to talk about. You got anything else?
No. Did you feel the earthquake yesterday?
There was no earthquake yesterday.
Yeah, there was.
Is it another?
No, it's not be funny.
I was gonna say it's another dumb funny thing.
So, small earthquake rattles Las Vegas.
No, now I know though. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Seismicology update.
Yeah, Jimmy pointed it out. No, I did not. It's probably because David's stomach was bubbling and rumbling and tumbling, and it was just normal shaking that he normally does as his body tries to process all of that corn syrup that's in.
Raul said, BlackRock is the devil. You are correct, my friend. They essentially run the world. If BlackRock went under, you best believe the government would come in.
A couple things, guys, before we sign off. For all of you that are new here, welcome to the Familia. Hopefully you come back and visit us. Also, subscribe. If you don't like us after a week, you can unsubscribe. It does work both ways. Now, we do have, if you like our live show, we do have the street interviews. It should be coming out tomorrow. Not 100% sure, but it should be out tomorrow or this weekend. And if you haven't seen our street interviews, if you're new here, go check those out.
It's fun.
We go down the Las Vegas Strip and ask
on a Saturday night.
On Saturday,
imagine
night, at midnight. We wait till well, technically it's Sunday morning, but we go out. We go out on a Saturday night. We wait till everybody's nice and liquored up. The ladies have no shoes on or walking around barefoot in the streets of Las Vegas.
I mean, you can only imagine, but when you're actually
we got to do a montage of that, bro.
Oh, we're going
of just the
once
feet.
we get like a bank of ones, we can cut segments out and do stuff. But
So it's interesting, you know, because here's the thing: we get this little echo chamber in our social media circles where you just kind of assume everybody knows everything about crypto. You know, everyone's has exposure to crypto and Bitcoin because you know you got your little friends you talk to about it, and we have our channel. Then you go out in the streets and you just talk to random ass people, and you're just over here yelling about crypto, and nobody even knows what the hell you're talking about. And so it's very interesting to get perspective from the average individual out on a vacation. And also we got a lot of international people here in Las Vegas as well.
that makes it fun. You know, that makes it interesting for crypto because if you watch the very first video we did, we ran into an Argentinian couple and they were raving about crypto. So before we sign off, go check out all our socials. Follow us on Twitter at SinCityCrypto1, Instagram at SinCityCrypto_1. We're on TikTok as well. Also, join our Community Ran Discord. We have a lot of fun in there. If you want to be a member of the channel, the description or the whatever it's called, link is in the description of this video also.
Don't forget about the merch.
That's right, the merch store. Check that out as well. All the links are there. All the links are there. Also, huge shout out to everyone for joining us today, wrapping your week up with us. We advise you, those of you that it's your first time joining us, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Come join us.
Today was actually an all-time high for viewership
It was
today. So,
yeah.
for
So
our
we are
live show,
growing, making all-time highs in the bear market. Make sure you're growing with us Monday through Friday, 10:30
Come back Monday.
Las Vegas
Hopefully we
time.
can break another 100 viewers, open up the club again, and have a Vegas party.
It's not 100 anymore. Now it's 120.
No, it's 100.
It's not 100.
It's 100 until it's the
It's
baseline.
not 100 until.
It's to the baseline.
Okay, well, we'll argue about this off air. Anyways, Rocco, roll the outro. No, it's not. Friends, family, friends of family, and family of friends, we thank you so much for finishing your week with us here at Sin City Crypto. We love you guys. To all the new members, welcome to our crypto fam, the best crypto familia on YouTube, anywhere. Mark my words, you don't believe me, come back Monday, 10:30 in Vegas time. Have a great weekend. We love you guys. Peace. You said we celebrate new milestones. 100 is no longer a new milestone. We've hit it 4 times.
Milestones are a mile long.
That's not a fucking...
Kidney stones are small. We're somewhere in between.